Traditionally, autumn was a joyous and festive time amongst the kingdom. We are introduced to the setting of a dinner at King Arthur's castle. This will be known as the ordinary world in the hero's journey. This is to establish a mood, time, and place before the call to adventure. Suddenly, King Arthur refuses to eat until he hears a good story. Answering his prayers come a green knight galloping on a green horse. The knight wishes to challenge the reputation of King Arthur's men, asking for somebody who is willing to play a sort of game. Gawain answers to the knight, agreeing to play along. The Green Knight allows Gawain to behead him as long as the knight may repay the favour in a year and 3 days. Gawain agrees and successfully beheads the Green Knight. Mysteriously, though, the knight grabs his head and rides away. This is the call to adventure because now Gawain must follow through with his promise. Finally, time passes and it is almost time for Gawain to set out on his adventure. However, he was hesitant in doing so. He was nervous of what awaited him. Gawain waited until the last minute to set out on his adventure to find the Green Knight after 1 year. This action was the refusal to the call. Gawain's mentor was not a physical being, but a spiritual one. Relying on God and on his religion to keep him safe is synonymous to meeting his mentor. Like a mentor, he relies on God for support and encouragement. This allows Gawain to have the courage to cross the threshold. Gawain travelling far and wide to find the Green Knight is the point where he crosses that threshold. He has overcome his fear, faced a mentor, and is ready to really start his journey. He travels for a very, very long time. However, it is no longer autumn, and the winter is bitter, bitter cold. After travelling for many days in the cold, he comes upon a white castle. There he is welcomed by a king and his knights. He is allowed to stay overnight and is replenished physically and mentally. Gawain tries to leave, urging the fact that he must be punctual for the Green Knight. The king of this castle tells Gawain that he can stay a few more nights because the king will save him time by showing him the way to the Green Knight. Gawain agrees to stay and makes a deal with the king. The king will go out hunting for 3 days straight, while Gawain stays at the castle. At the end of each day, they will give each other whatever they receive on that given day. Gawain kisses the queen of the castle for 2 days straight, and gives those kisses back to the king. On the third and final day, Gawain receives a green sash from the queen as a token of love. That will give him immortality. This is known as approaching the inmost cave because Gawain has entered his new place. He has agreed to a new game. This game will become more defining for him than the original one. However, the ordeal arises at the end of the third day. Rather than giving the sash to the king, as it was agreed, Gawain selfishly keeps it for himself. This is a moral conflict within himself because he does not want to be dishonest. However, he is nervous about facing the Green Knight. This speaks of Gawain's character and holds relevance to the theme. Gawain is directed to the location of the Green Knight. As promised, he allows the Green Knight to attempt to behead him. However, because of the green girdle, he is saved. His reward for being selfish is that he has saved his own life against the infamous Green Knight. Once he realizes he has lived, he is extremely happy and it challenges the knight to a proper duel. The knight does not accept the offer and reveals his true identity. The Green Knight is also the king who generously accepted Gawain into the castle. The king knows that Gawain was dishonest about the girdle. Upon realizing this, Gawain is ashamed of his actions. This is the road back because Gawain realizes the error in his ways and is back to the moral path in which he started. To resurrect his honor, he continues to wear the green girdle home as a reminder of his selfish ways. He returns to his village, alive, wearing the green girdle as a symbol and lesson to everyone back at the village. Respectfully, everybody else starts to wear a green girdle as well. This is to constantly remember to be morally correct and honorable. This ending to the story is known as the return with elixir on the hero's journey. Gawain has returned, acknowledged his mistakes, and turned it into a moral lesson for everybody at the kingdom.